there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to film for you guys a Q&A. On Instagram, I asked you guys if you had any questions for me, and I got a couple questions, so I'm going to run through them and answer them as best as I can. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so the first question is from Georgette T. Kell, and she asks, how did you get into YouTube? So basically I used to watch YouTube a lot, and then I was really inspired by the YouTubers that I watched, and I thought, hey, I'd like to share some things, and I thought it would be a good creative outlet for me. So I started YouTube 3 years ago, coming up on 3 years ago. So yeah, that's why I started. Mums2Girls5 asked, I have a question. What was your aversion to coffee and why did you finally give it a go? So if you don't know, I have recently shared that I started drinking coffee, and I don't know why I had an aversion to it. I just didn't really like the taste for the longest time, and I thought, you know, I wasn't sure if caffeine would be that good for my body because my sister can't really drink caffeine. It affects her heart, and so I just assumed, oh, it wouldn't be good for me. It would make me too hyper, and I just wanted to stay away from it. But as I'm getting older, my kids have a lot of energy, and I just found that I haven't been having that much energy lately, so I decided to give coffee a try. And at first I didn't really like the taste, but now I love the taste, and I love the effects that it gives me. So it just gives me that little boost, kind of tweaks my brain, perks me up a little bit, and helps me get through the day. So yeah, I don't have coffee every day, but on the days where I have a lot to do, I know I'm gonna have a lot to do, then I have the coffee. So yeah, I hope that answers that. Next is from Higgins LC. She's super supportive. She always comments on my things. So anyway, it says, where do you get your inspiration for your home decor? So where do I get my inspiration? I don't know. Number one, Dave and I like to travel to New York City a lot, and I find that whole city just super inspiring, and so I get a lot of inspiration when we go on trips there. I also get inspired through Instagram, so following certain Instagram hashtags. So one that I've been liking lately is hashtag My Eclectic Mix. Also, hashtag My Home Vibe or Pocket of My Home. So all these hashtags I follow and just sort of get different inspirations, and I use that function where you can sort of flag a post, and I keep it there, and I can scroll through it every once in a while and see just inspiring pictures. I also am inspired by just like flea markets and stuff, going around and seeing how different things are displayed together, often store displays. So I love Anthropologie. I don't necessarily shop there that often because it's kind of pricey, but I like the way that they set stuff up. So yeah, that's basically where I get my home decor inspiration from. Next question comes from Mary Baker? I'm not sure. Anyway, what did you do before becoming a mom / staying home? Do you miss it? So I was a massage therapist, and also sort of a front desk receptionist at a spa. I also did facials at the spa. So I'm not an esthetician, but I did facial and body treatments sort of as a tie-in with my massage therapy. So I don't really miss it that much. Like, I don't miss the physical nature of the job, but I do miss that client one-on-one interaction. So, but I don't think I'll ever go back to it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, next question comes from PB&J, who is an amazing YouTuber, by the way. Anyway, she asks, when did you start thrifting? Do you ever flip your finds? Is there anything you'd like to extend to your channel, like more vlogging, lifestyle vids? Also, can you make those Greek burgers on YouTube? So, number one, when did I start thrifting? I started thrifting in junior high with a group of friends. There was a thrift store near our school, and so we would go and thrift often. We just liked finding unique pieces and sort of being creative with our style, like our clothing style. So yeah, junior high is when we started, and it's never stopped. Do you ever flip your finds? So not that often. Sometimes I'll buy things and then resell it, but I'm a little bit afraid to invest in something and then, or a lot of things, and then have them not sell. So I'm a little bit scared of that. But anyway, maybe in the future I will. I have sort of plans once the kids go back to school that maybe I will start some type of resale business, vintage resale. So I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I don't really. Is there anything you'd like to extend your channel? So I do like vlogging. I'd never want my channel to be a vlogging channel, but I do like sharing day in the lives. Well, I like to share, but also I just like capturing those memories. So I think I may incorporate in the new year specific day in the lives, like maybe once a week or something. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, that is that. And then the Greek burgers, I may not share them on YouTube just because I find that people don't really like watching my food videos. Like maybe my subscribers do, but on a whole, food isn't really my niche. But I will probably share it maybe one time on Instagram. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Next is Mrs. Deadman08. What were some of the jobs you had in the past? So like I said, I was a massage therapist, I was a receptionist, I was a spa manager, I worked for my dad for a long time doing data entry and reception and stuff like that for his company. So those are the jobs. I also worked at a car dealership doing reception, so I've done a lot of front desk office reception type work. Plus I was a massage therapist. So that is that. Next is a question from Emily, Mama from Scratch. Do you prefer yard sales or thrift store? What hopes do you have for your channel? Anything you want to add? So I prefer, I guess I prefer thrift stores only because they're pretty consistent, so I can definitely know that I will find something when I go there, whereas yard sales are really, you know, depending on the neighborhood you go to or the person selling, you may find yard sales not with things that you want to buy. So I think I prefer thrift stores, although I love yard salings when I find a good yard sale to go to. So yeah, I do love community yard sales because then you're probably guaranteed to find something, but yeah. Although I do like yard sales because I do like chatting with the people selling the stuff, and I do like knowing the history of the object that I'm buying, but anyway, I like them both. What hopes do you have for your channel? Good question. So recently I took a break, and because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my channel, I was just putting out content thinking, you know, do people really want to see what I'm putting out? And I'm so thankful for the overwhelming response of people saying like, yes, we like your videos, and yes, we want to see what you're putting out. But I think in the new year, I want to get more on a schedule. So that's sort of the hopes and plans that I have for my channel, is I want to get on a schedule and put out, you know, Mondays a certain type of video, Wednesdays, Fridays, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I don't know. But I think that's what I want, is maybe to sort of niche down a little bit for my channel. So yeah. And then anything I want to add? No, there's nothing much more that I want to add. The next question comes from Happy Veggie Mom. She says, how do you decide if what you want to thrift is worth it? Is it mostly based on price, or is it what makes you happy, or something that you need? Basically, how do I decide? I'm a very emotional shopper, so basically it's what makes me happy, but also the price. Like, I'm not gonna buy something that makes me happy if I think it's overpriced and I'm pretty cheap, just because of the principle of it. Like, if I'm shopping thrift, I don't want to spend a lot of money, even if the item makes me really, really happy. So it's a bit of a combo of the two. I do shop for things that I need. I usually have a running list in my head of things that I need. But thrifting for me is mostly what I want. You know what I mean? It's not only what I need. If I can use an item creatively, because I don't need any of the things that I buy, really. It's just how I express myself creatively, and so that's why I love to shop thrift. Next question comes from Lost in a Trance. What is your idea of a perfect date night? What is my idea of a perfect date night? I would love if Dave happily would go thrifting with me. He's not a big thrifter. He's sort of like in and out of the store, get what I want, very practical, whereas I like to browse and stuff. So I would love if he would come with me and thrifting, and then maybe we could go for a nice dinner because both Dave and I like food, and then we would end the night maybe going to a movie or something like that. So that would be a nice date night. Next is from Jasmine Green 200. What is your and Dave's love story? What's something you tell your just married self? Whew. Dave and I are, we've been together for 10 years, I guess now. No, we've been married for 10 years. We've been together since 2003, I think. Maybe 2004, I can't remember. But anyway, our love story is that we met at church, that we went on a date. He asked me out. After church, we went to a restaurant all together as a big group. And at that restaurant, he said, oh, you know, one time would you like to go and have dinner with me? And I said, sure. So then we started dating and we've been together ever since. What is something I tell my just married self? I don't know. What would I tell my just married self? Just that, you know, there'll be ups and downs, but just remember why you fell in love with the person in the first place, and it's all about compromise. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not really good at this love advice thing, but anyway, that's what I would tell myself. The Kindred Heart asked, how do you store your decor off season? So I've had a couple questions about this, and although I shop and show a lot of my hauls, I don't really find like I have a ton of stuff. I think it's the impression that I have a lot of stuff. I guess I do, I don't know. Anyway, I store it basically in big Tupperware containers and Rubbermaid containers, and I store it either down in the basement or up in the attic. And basically I have a bin for seasonal decor, and that is where I put a lot of the stuff. As far as decor stuff that's not seasonal, I have 3 pieces of furniture that I put stuff in. I've got a china cabinet where I have a lower, like, hidden storage, so I put stuff in there. I've also got a buffet in my dining room that I store stuff in, and I've got a little cabinet in the living room that I store stuff in. So just so that I can switch things out if I'm feeling like I need to. So. But I do, you know, as often as I bring stuff into the house, I get rid of stuff as well. Next question comes from Addis Rodriguez, number 8. And then she said, love that sweater, thank you. And what were you and hubby's growing up Christmas tradition, and what Christmas tradition do you do now with your children? Any recipe ideas for the holidays? One Christmas tradition, which was a Christmas tradition of Dave's growing up, was that he cuts down the Christmas tree and like gets a real Christmas tree and cuts it down at the specific Christmas tree farm, which we actually live really close to now. Used to be this really far drive for him when he was a kid, but we just realized that we live down the street for it. So that is something that was a Christmas tradition of his, and we went this year with the kids and had a great time. So that was kind of fun to do. And as far as other Christmas traditions, let's see. So I actually made a Christmas traditions video either last year or the year before, but I'll link it if you want to take a look at that, and you can sort of see more Christmas traditions from us. But as far as one from my childhood that we do with our children is we used to put clementines in our stocking, and or my parents used to put clementines in our stocking, or Santa did, and we do that with our kids. So I think that's a fun little tradition that we've, you know, passed down. Any recipe ideas for the holidays? I don't really bake that much. Actually, that's a lie. No, that isn't a lie. That is something I want to change. I want to start baking more. But Dave is basically the cook. So he cooks, he bakes, he does everything in the kitchen. But I want to start baking soon. So if you guys have any easy recipes, then leave them in the comments below. Somewhere where I can find the recipe so I can follow it along, because that is something I'd like to start doing. Simply Mindy 3 says, do you thrift all your clothes? And if so, how frequently do you thrift them? So yes, I basically thrift all my clothes. I'd say a good 95% of my wardrobe is thrifted. So yeah, it's kind of fun to have a fully thrifted wardrobe. For the kids, I also thrift their clothing, but I do fill in the gaps of things that they actually need that I can't find thrifting from like Old Navy. If they have sales and stuff like that, I will shop at Old Navy for them, or the Gap, depending on the sale. Let's see, Living Even Keeled, Patricia, one of my favorite people here on YouTube, I should say, asks favorite funny or comedy movies. Let's see, I like a good laugh. One of my favorite movies, Christmas movie, is Elf. I really love Elf. Anything with Robin Williams, I really like Robin Williams. I also went through a period during high school of loving Adam Sandler movies. I also like Will Ferrell, so yeah, I love a good comedy movie. Okay, so next is a question from Nesting Haven. It says, if you could live anywhere else, where would it be? It would 100% be New York City. Dave and I love that city. It's just this energy that we love and just super inspiring, and we just love it. So yeah, it would be New York City if we were millionaires. Next is from Holly SP8 or Spate. What family festive traditions do your family have? Are there any traditions from your child or new ones? So I answered some of these questions. What are your top 3 favorite things to do this season? I would say Christmas tree, #1. Second of all is taking in all the lights. Like, I love Christmas lights, so driving around and taking in the Christmas lights. #3 is eating good food. I love food. On a side note, I'd love to know what technology you use to vlog and edit your vlogs. So I basically just use iMovie. I haven't really invested in anything to edit my vlogs yet. I just use iMovie. And then as far as my camera goes, I use the Canon G7X, like the original one. I got it last year or the year before, and it's still serving me well, so I'm not gonna upgrade until I'm either made of money or until my camera dies, which, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't. So that is that. And then it says to use iMac or PC. So I actually use a MacBook, and it doesn't have a lot of storage, but it works for me, and it was affordable. So I mean, it was affordable, it was cheaper than the MacBook Pro, but it works for me. And then it says, I know your hubby's a graphic designer, the same as mine. So yeah, he is a graphic designer. He's got his own computer, his work computer. I don't touch that, but yeah, I have a little MacBook and it serves me well. Kayfo Murphy says, can you or Dave speak French? And if so, and if not, why? Yes, we do. We both speak French. I grew up in French immersion school, so I'm pretty fluent in French, I'd say, although I haven't used it for a long time. Dave didn't grow up in French immersion, but he did take core French, so he basically can get by in French, but I wouldn't say he's completely fluent. The next question comes from Quidolf. And it said, do you have, would love any tips, recommendations, reflections on new motherhood / first time mom stuff. So basically 2 things. One thing is the saying, this too shall pass, because it really will. Even when you're in the thick of things and you think like, you know, you're gonna go off the edge, things will change, things will come around, and you'll be okay. #2, don't sweat the small stuff. So pick your battles when your kids get older. So not newborn stuff, but pick your battles. #3 is, speaking of newborn stuff, is trust your gut. So you are the mother. You can sort of try and get advice from other people, but really trust your gut and go with it. More often than not, your gut is right. And now that I'm thinking about it, I actually made a video, motherhood, like what I've learned type video. I'm gonna link that because I made it a long time ago when I first started YouTube. And so it may be a little awkward, but I will link that because it's got some little bits of information in there. So I will link that. Next from Amity Hill says, most loved and most disliked elements of your new house and or new small town living. So most love is not hustle and bustle like Ottawa was. When we lived in Ottawa, I just found it, actually I didn't find it overwhelming at all, but now when I go back to Ottawa after being here, I find it overwhelming, way too much going on. And I really like the quietness of small town living. I also like the different community events I love that we can walk places, like we don't have to get in the car. Like I just did a bit of Christmas shopping this morning, like last minute things. I just walked up to town and did what I had to do, so I really love that. Most disliked, I haven't quite found a thrift store that I like in town, which is unfortunate. But you know, a couple towns over, there are a couple of them, and I also can go back into the city to get some thrift shopping done. But I wish there was more thrifting opportunities in town. So anyway, that is that. Next is Barbary6. How old are you? How did you and hubby meet? Did you go to school for anything? What do you love about Disney? How many times have you been? And what makes your heart happy? So, how old am I? I'm 35. I will be 36 in February. Number 2, how did you and hubby meet? We met at church. Number 3, did you go to school for anything? So yes, I did 2 years of nursing school at university. I dropped out because it just was not for me. And then I went on and got my college diploma in massage therapy. So I was a registered massage therapist. Number 3, what do you love about Disney? I just love that it's a different world and that you are taken somewhere else and that you can just be fun-loving and be a kid again. How many times have you been? So I went once when I was a kid with a friend's family. We never went with my family just because there were 6 of us and it's quite expensive. Then I went again with Dave in 2009 for the first time together with his family, and then we went again in 2017, so just earlier this year, and then we'll go back again in 2019. So I think we'll do sort of an every 2-year type thing from now on with the kids. What makes your heart happy? What makes my heart happy? Seeing my kids smile. Like, they just have really great smiles, and when they smile, that makes my heart happy. LunaSol1980 says, do you have plans on having more kids? No, I do not. I made a video about that, so I will also link it. How did you pick your beautiful kids' names? I have a couple names videos, so I will also link those if you're interested. But basically, we just wanted to pick Hebrew names. My husband's family has a Jewish background, and we are also Christians, so I just wanted something biblical. So that is how we picked Jude and Miriam. Thanks and take care. So you're welcome. Kaylin says, I love the sweater. Thank you. Mary Kate Bonning said, what did you do before you had kids? So I was a massage therapist. Mrs. Sanchosco says, if you were to make a big purchase or renovation in your home, what would it be? So we have a 3rd floor attic, and I would love to finish that off into a space of its own. That is going to be a lot of money, so I don't think we'll be doing it anytime soon, but in the future, that is what we would love to do. Also, do you plan out your day or do you just go with the flow? So I'm very much a go with the flow type person. I will in the morning write down 3 things that I want to accomplish during the day, just 3. Even if I have a big long list of things to do, I just write down 3, and then if I accomplish those things, I feel like it's been a good day. And then just 2 more questions. First is from Tasha Defoe. It says, you always find such treasures thrifting. I only see junk. I keep going and looking though. Any tricks? So I don't know. I don't really think it's luck as so much as I go often, and so I share with you guys basically the highlights. Like, there are some times where I go to the thrift store and I don't find anything worth sharing, so I don't. But also just going with a really creative mind, so seeing something and seeing like, how can I adapt this to my style? How can I transform this piece into something unique if I pair it with something else? Just going with an open mind really helps to try and find something. Last question from Jamie Marie Stefanik, and it says, how do you stay gentle on a stressful day? So I was blessed with patience. After having children, that patience is not quite as great as it once was. I still am sort of a gentle person just by nature. But let me tell you, on a stressful day, I am not perfect. I get stressed like the rest of the world. So if I am finding the kids overly stressful, then we will take some quiet time. I will go off and do my own thing. Like, the kids are 5 and 3 now, so they can definitely spend some time on their own. But even when they were younger, it was sort of, okay, mommy needs some time. So even if I go to the washroom and take an extended washroom break after putting on a movie or something like that, that is how I stay gentle. But basically, I just pray every day that I am calm with my children, and yeah, so I get through a lot of it with prayer and zoning out. So anyway, that's my really long Q&A. So just as I was saying, this may be a really long video. My camera battery died, so I think it is going to be a very long video. But if you guys made it to the end, congratulations. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel, you would like to see more videos from me, please consider subscribing so you don't miss a video in the future. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.